Hey everyone, Shabby here, and welcome back to another episode of Shabby Talk. Now, I've been holding off on this one because I really wanted to give myself a bit more time to think about it, but I just still can't stop thinking it's so bloody stupid. And of course, that is Jason Jordan becoming the son of Kurt Angle. Now, I don't like to badmouth these things. It's the same situation as the Jinder Mahal situation. I'll judge it when it's been going on for a while, because you never know. The best storylines could come from really, really terrible starts, and you never know what could happen with this one. But there's still quite a lot that we do not know. But I want to sort of talk through it all and just sort of get my mind clear and see what you guys think about it as well. So, like I said, will it work? And Jason Jordan is a very good wrestler, no doubt about that. And I'm happy the fact that he's going to be getting some more TV time, some more time in the spotlight. But is it a good thing for him to be in this situation? Now, it could completely overshadow him, or he could use it to step up to the next level. It really is all about how he sort of takes on this challenge now, and how well or badly the whole storyline is going to be written for himself and Kurt Angle. Now, it was a bit of a weird choice in my opinion. You look at the two guys, you look at Jordan, you look at Gable, and instantly you'd sort of think that Gable would be the obvious choice. Of course, Gable's history, he was an Olympian. He did compete in the Olympics in collegiate wrestling, just like Kurt Angle did. And it just probably would have made a little bit more sense, but I think they, in WWE, they tend to prefer Jason Jordan, even though I actually think that Chad Gable is more of an all-round package. But I don't know, it's a weird one, but it could work. Obviously, the whole thing with Jason Jordan being mixed race as well is a bit funny. It's created quite a few comedy videos on Twitter. It's quite a minefield out there at the moment, but it's just a bit weird for me. I thought that Chad Gable might have been the more obvious choice for this one. So what now for Jason Jordan? What does the future hold for him? It's tricky to say, really. I feel like an upper mid-card run, maybe going for the Intercontinental Championship is possible. Although the whole Miz, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose situation has been going on for quite some time. So it'd be interesting to see. I should imagine that Jason Jordan will pick up quite a few convincing single squash victories over the next few weeks, just to keep building him up before he finally gets some sort of decent storyline. Now, what is going to happen with Gable as well? It's a tricky one, because these two guys have, as far as I've seen them, I've only ever known tag team competition, really. I know Jordan had a little bit of singles competition in NXT before Gable came along and joined him up as a tag team, but apart from that, both guys have really, and especially on the main roster, only ever been a tag team. Now, don't get me wrong, the tag team on SmackDown hasn't necessarily worked out as well as they probably hoped. It didn't really transfer as well from NXT onto SmackDown as they probably hoped, but that was more down to the way they were used and the way the writing was there for them. Because obviously in NXT it worked perfectly, and it was just that translation. The different writers, I don't think, really knew how to utilize them correctly, and I still think it's an absolute crime that Heath Slater and Rhino were the first SmackDown Tag Team Champions and not American Alpha, who was so hot at the time. I understand they built a feud off of it with the American Alpha and the Usos, but even then, it wasn't that good of a feud to really risk taking the hit on the momentum that American Alpha had. But Chad Gable now, I suppose, is going to have to do the same thing. He's going to have to go singles. And I think they've been sort of trialing this recently. Of course, Chad Gable had a match against AJ Styles recently, which was very, very good. And again, I think they can both do it. I think they can both compete pretty well in singles competition, but I still would like them to stay as a tag team for a little bit longer, especially considering the lack of tag team SmackDown now has. They've only got about four tag teams on their roster at the moment. The Usos, the New Day, Ascension, and Breezango. Apart from those, I don't think there's anyone there at the moment. So it's a tricky one, isn't it, really? But there's still something that we don't know, and this is the thing that really intrigues me, and I've got a few ideas for how this could go. Of course, the way the storyline is planned across, Kurt Angle has been blackmailed as such by an unnamed person. This person has also been texting all the details to Corey Graves. Now, that is important. Remember that for a moment. So who is it? Who has been blackmailing Kurt Angle? Now, there's a few obvious people that always jump to mind. Stephanie McMahon. Why? I don't honestly know, but it should just sort of seem that they would do. It's a sort of dodgy storyline they would pull out, so I don't quite know why they would do it, but it's a very strong possibility. Triple H. Triple H maybe did not want Kurt Angle in the position. He's always sort of harboured some sort of envy from that whole love triangle angle they did years ago, and maybe this is Triple H's way of trying to get Kurt out of the job and potentially building up for a Triple H versus Kurt angle at WrestleMania next year, potentially. You can go a little bit more outside the box, maybe Dixie Carter. I know that's very outside the box, but you never know with WWE, especially with the return of Great Khali and stuff like that. It's possible they could pull off some sort of dodgy storyline like that. Dixie Carter is a possibility. It could be some really random ass person. It could end up being like Teddy Long. Like, he's always trying to get himself a job as a general manager. Maybe he's trying to blackmail Kurt Angle and get him out of the job. Who knows? But the two that I'm more interested in, these are the ones I've been thinking about the most. The first person it could be is Chad Gable. Chad Gable would be the one who would know this, of course, being tag team partners with Jason Jordan. He would confide in Jason Jordan quite a lot. The two of them would probably know all about this, and maybe Chad Gable's taking his advantage to try and get himself maybe a little bit of a push within WWE by trying to blackmail his way to the top. It's very possible that could be a storyline they go for, and we could see maybe Chad Gable also move to Raw and have a Gable versus Jordan feud. It's very possible that could be one way they could go. But the other one is another interesting one. Maybe it could be Jason Jordan himself. Because if you listen to what has been said over the previous weeks, Corey Graves has said that he is very good friends with Jason Jordan. They spent a lot of time in NXT on the road together, and he confided in Corey Graves. So Corey Graves knew exactly the situation beforehand. Now, the blackmailer was also blackmailing Corey Graves as well as Kurt Angle. So whoever it was must have known Corey Graves. But then again, to take it a slightly different route, it could actually be Corey Graves. Because like you said, Jason Jordan said, or Corey Graves said, sorry, that Jason Jordan did know Corey Graves very well and confided in him. And maybe that's the reason why Corey Graves has been getting the messages, is because he's the one sending them. So there's two different angles there. I think either Chad Gable as the envy and trying to get himself blackmailed to the top as possible. Jason Jordan himself trying to get Kurt Angle to finally admit to being his father by blackmailing him. And again, trying to get himself a push to the top. And Corey Graves, as he's been always rumoured to be someone who could be involved in this sort of thing. But the problem is with Corey Graves is that he can't wrestle because of his history with injuries. So maybe that angle wouldn't really work because there'd be no reason to it. There'd be no finale to it. There wouldn't be a Kurt Angle versus Corey Graves or a Jason Jordan versus Corey Graves in the future, because Corey would not be able to compete unless, I don't know, he may have got over those problems now, and but I don't think he can. I think it was down to multiple concussions, which when you've had so many in WWE, that's it. 3 strikes and you're out situation. So it could be that, but I'm leaning more towards either Chad Gable or Jason Jordan in this situation, which would lead to an interesting little feud. Maybe, like I said, Chad Gable as the heel, taking on Jason Jordan as the face, or maybe even Jason Jordan as the heel, and Chad Gable comes across saying that Jason's abandoned him to try and focus on his own singles career. And again, that could work out pretty well, but those are just my random guesses of what it could be. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. What do you think about this feud? Where do you think it's going? Do you think it's going to work? Do you think it's going to fall flat on its face? Do you think that it could all be a massive ruse and it could be a swerve for something completely different? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and of course I will reply to them all as soon as I possibly can. So that's the end of this episode of Shabby Talk. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do slap a like. And of course, if you're new around here and you want to see some more, then hit that subscribe button as well. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for some more Shabby Talk. Bye. Bye.